I mean,
Ask me how I'm doing, please. Please ask me how I'm doing.
how are you doing?
I'm richer than I think.
Scotiabank?
Scotiabank.
Why? Why are you Richard today?
I don't know what happened
let's
today.
talk about that.
Please, what happened today?
What
Can
happened?
you tell me?
So what happened is that a couple of weeks ago we had a bet.
Did we?
Me and you.
We had a bet? Okay.
Yeah.
It's documented, sir.
Oh. My brain's going through that point where it's not remembering some of the shit, like the study.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
I'll remind you.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
there to remind you.
So what happened is that he has won a bet of teams reaching 400
Within the first week,
within the first week, and I was surprised. I'm like, how?
Thrashing is what took place.
How
bro.
did that happen?
And Kusal Mendes was going off. I really thought he would bring that close. Fun fact for you. Here's another fun fact for you. Out of the 25 innings of 400 plus runs in ODIs, South Africa has been involved in 10 of them, and they've only lost once.
They're wild.
South Africa, like I said, remember what I was talking about how Australia and South Africa, every time they play, it seems like, oh my God, these guys are going to score like tons of runs.
Yeah.
400 plus runs. South Africa, they can sort of, South Africa is a type of team. They're going to score, they can score like 4 or 5 400 plus runs. And
when they get going,
they're not going to win it.
Yeah.
That's one of my predictions. They're going to go top 4.
All the
pundits.
Yeah, because everybody's counting them out, so that's the best time, right? Like,
bro, I'm telling you, they got a really good team. Their fielding just wasn't up to par today. They dropped a few catches.
Yeah.
But
same guy though.
I believe that South Africa has the best middle order in the tournament, but
you still don't think you still just don't pick them to win.
I picked them to be top 4 for sure.
And then they choke.
They choke. They don't choke. That could go for any team once you're in the playoffs.
But they did set up record most runs scored World Cup.
Yeah.
428 in an innings, right?
Yeah.
Aiden Markham, fastest ton.
Fastest ton in the World Cup. Yeah.
So they were bang on.
They were. They got me some money, so
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. This is my. I just believe. I don't think they're gonna be top 4 either. I don't think they're gonna be the top 4 teams. They could. They're on track to proving me wrong and proving a lot of South African critics wrong. But I still believe. I think they will not have what it takes to be in the top 4, or even if they get into the top 4 to get to the final. But let's see.
The thing about World Cup is it's just like, and the reason why it's so exciting because it's not like bilateral series, right?
Yeah.
Every day or every match you play a different team, right? Especially in this format.
Yeah.
So every match is a different game plan, and I think they have the ability to adapt. It's tough.
The thing is, they're bowling. They're good, quick bowlers. That are able to change a pace. Like Jensen, I was watching. That man can move the new ball, right? The first bowl that he got of Nisanka, bro, crazy, right? That reminded me of what Shaheen was doing a couple months ago, right? So they have the bowling. They definitely have the batting for it. I think they're going top 4.
They are an outclassed team. They are. I mentioned this before.
As a team, they've been a really good team for a really long time.
They're a stacked team, right? Especially, I think they have the best middle order in all of the teams.
I don't know.
Look at all.
Maybe India.
That's pushing it.
No. You look at their lineup, like guys like Markham, Klassen,
Miller.
Yeah. Van der Dussen, look, he scored 100. He came 1 down. He's usually like 3 or 4 down.
Cox opening. He's going. It's his last World Cup.
It's the last World Cup for a bunch of guys. Actually,
I kind of wanted to touch on that. It's the last World Cup for a lot of greats. The potentially for Kohli, for Rohit. These guys.
Makes sense, man. He is.
Rohit is 36. I think Jadeja is 33.
But Jadeja, I think he's a good athlete. He might play another one.
Yeah, at least 34.
Kohli can play another one.
Kohli could play another one too, like Dhoni, like that, getting that in that late 30s, he could still play one.
Then you got a bunch of guys on the Australian side.
Yeah.
Iftikhar is probably the last one.
No, Iftikhar's only 29, bro. What are you talking
about? Definitely Hassan Ali. I think this is his last World Cup.
Hassan Ali. If he drops another catch,
it will be. You know what? I think he's going to surprise everybody.
Hassan Ali?
Yeah, he's
going to surprise in the first game.
And so you know a guy that we knew and he did particularly well in local cricket, and that was because you thought his pace was going to be faster than it is. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Who?
Okay, I'm not going to name drop, but then he was successful in taking wickets. I think that's what happens with Hassan Ali.
Okay,
Even though,
I know what you're talking about.
even though you know that it's coming at 130, it's just like
he does get movement off the seam too.
You know, you just like something happens with that guy that he ends up taking some wickets. Like it just happens.
Well, that
he's the fastest guy to 50 wickets for Pakistan.
For Pakistan. Yeah, so we kind of touched on this earlier too.
Yes. Yeah. But the thing is, you have to understand the way he made his way into the team was not because of his capabilities. It's because of lack of
other talent around.
Lack of talent thereof.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Because there's really no room for like a medium pacer that cannot really bat.
He can bat.
He got out a golden duck, but
that's umpire's call.
Yeah. Pakistan cannot rely on Hassan Ali to win them the tournament. Yes, he's in the team. He should be doing his best.
Yeah.
And help the team out. Pakistan team is definitely going to be shouldn't be relying on it because it doesn't make sense. How can you rely on a person that just made his way into the team because there was lack of people?
Yeah.
He's not going to be your player to be relied upon.
I get that, but he has a way of just getting a lot of wickets in any tournament that he plays. So that's.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean he's a reason. He's one of the main reasons that we won that Champions Trophy.
Here's why we have to listen to Unts because he's had better prediction record than both of us.
No, it's not. Yes, so prediction record being aside, yes, obviously he has.
Right now, the women lie numbers.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. But let's talk about warm-up games, good predictions. I don't know why you picked Bangladesh for some reason.
I think we just wanted to call the upsets. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think you guys deep inside you just want the underdog to win, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
you guys...
I think you predicted England to win. What happened there?
They choked.
Yeah, exactly. No, so that's one for us. No, I'm only giving you 90 now.
Predictions aside, but all I'm saying is sometimes you got to be reasonable too. Depending on Hassan Ali is not reasonable at this point.
Yeah.
It's not even been one game.
No.
Hey, hold on. Whatever happened to best 11 for the day? He's making your best 11.
Well, okay, so no, this is what I'm saying.
Best 11 for the day, yes, against Netherlands, sure he would make it.
No, but he would make it regardless.
No, hear me out.
Who would you play over him?
No. I'm not talking about that. Yes, good team. That's the team that went in. I really agreed with that team. The combo, that was really good combo to go in with.
Here's the thing. Here's what I think about that guy. Right? Obviously, we're all disappointed. Obviously, if the team is healthy, then he doesn't stand a chance, which he didn't in the previous series. But what I'm saying is, as much as we despise him, he might surprise us a little bit.
I think he's going to do well.
Because one thing that he can do, because he knows he doesn't have pace, he's good with the basics. Line and length, and he does.
I'm not just speaking from a bias. What I'm saying is the Indian wickets so far have shown that they're a little slow. They're on the slower end, right? They are batting track still. It's a true bounce, but they're slower. So there's movement off the seam, right? Shaheen always tries to go full first up, and he doesn't get a wicket, then he's all over the place, right? With Hassan Ali, he always tries to hit that good length, short of a good length, where he tries to get movement off the seam. So I think he's going to be a key to picking up those wickets because Shaheen's not in a good nick recently, right? So I think he's going to do well. If Shaheen can block runs from one end, Hassan Ali, automatically they're going to try to attack him, right? And then he will pick up those wickets.
100%. Right? But I'm just saying, yes, Hassan Ali, yes, you're right. He's a good player. I like him. I've never said he's a good player. The only thing that I said, the only reason and I said it was that he shouldn't be relied upon.
Absolutely.
Key.
Of course.
You should obviously. There's no way. All 11 that's going in, you should expect a good performance from them.
Yeah.
The bowlers are getting spanked. 400 is not like a joke.
Yeah.
And the other day, you saw what happened. New Zealand versus.
That was dominant.
Bro.
New Zealand versus
Black
England.
Caps.
It's England, bro.
Black Caps.
But not just that. The thing is, there was a rematch of the final. And a lot of people would say England won by luck, right? That 2019 World Cup, right? That was wild. Super over getting tired. You only won on a technicality, which rule that they've changed, by the way, that rule. It's not going to be super overs until it's decided. So They came back and they made a statement. They said, you know what, you won by luck, not anymore. They're not even playing their main players. Williamson wasn't there. Ferguson wasn't there. They're like, you know what, we're still gonna thrash you guys.
I mean, yes, you're right. That's what I'm saying. It was a thrashing. But my point is, it's going to be a batting World Cup.
Of course, I've already said that. You guys didn't agree. I said it's going to be. I said it's going to be 400 plus. It's going to be raining sixes.
Look, the game of cricket is more batting centric now. Period.
That's true.
That's
that is true.
You know,
yeah.
There's some look at that the young kid. What's his name? Ravindra.
Yeah.
Ravindra. What great batting from him, man.
You think
you know from the warm up game, brought it into the other game.
I like this warm up game. He has always been batting number 6. He was given. This was his first opportunity.
Loved it.
One down, and that too in a World Cup against who? England, defending champions.
Yeah.
Against guys like who? Mark Wood, throwing 150 just like bombs.
Yeah.
At you. Chris Wokes. I mean, are these like names that you haven't heard before? These are good English like names that have dominated cricket for a bit, but played like he is like this position. This one down position is made for him.
Yeah.
Amazing display, shots that he played.
Yeah.
I don't think there's only few batsmen around the world that play in that position that can play those shots. Like it just surprised me. Like I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
he's a spinner slash middle order batsman that can barely score a few runs. Because if you look at his previous series against Bangladesh, the right before the World Cup, he was batting number 6, number 7.
Right.
They didn't put him up to batting order. Even in the warm up game against New Pakistan, he didn't bat number 1 down or whatever.
Yeah, I think he opened in one of the warm up games.
Yeah, but against Pakistan,
I think they were experimenting. And he came back out, and it turned out to be a good experiment.
Whatever case, this is what you call this. This is what you call mental presence.
Mm.
The quality of the mentality that this kid brings to the table is second to none. Scoring 100, and that too at the strike rate of 120, 130. It's not an easy job. And when you're so young against a very experienced bowling lineup of England. And New Zealand again played like a cricket team. Played like they're here to. They made a statement against the winning champions.
Yeah,
that we're coming again.
They missed it by a margin last time, right?
Last time. Now we're gonna come and we're gonna try to take it back.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. Amazing. They got everybody's attention. They got everybody's attention. A lot of people didn't have them in the top 4, right? Even some of the some major pundits, right?
Yes.
They didn't have them in the top 4, but now they got everybody's attention. Yeah, New Zealand. Yeah. So now they got everybody's attention. Hey, they're here for it.
Yeah.
They might get back to that same final again.
Exactly. And good. Like if you look at their bowling, Trent bowled.
Yeah.
A bit expensive in the first over where he got it for 12 runs.
Yeah.
Bairstow, oh man, this guy is one of my favorite batsmen in the world. Bairstow and Josh Butler, damn, these guys can bat, man.
Yeah.
Bairstow in for 12 runs, I'm like, this is, I was worried right there. I'm like, oh, Hans is winning a bat right there. I'm like, Hans is and I was the next Matt Henry. That guy's a bowler and a half as well. Good bowling display. I think teams know that during this World Cup, a bowler is going to have an economy of literally 7 and above.
Yeah, 7. And most teams understand that there's going to be chances, right? You just have to hang on to those catches, right?
Like yesterday, Afghanistan dropped so many catches.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to take those chances if you want to win. But teams are going to...
That's going to be the difference. I think,
the
the catches win match is really going to be the statement.
It's going to come down to fielding a lot because batsmen are going to go for shots.
Yeah.
Bowler are going to have an economy unless it's really your day, then you can have a 3 economy of 3,
more like a 5. More like a 5 in
more
India.
like 5 opening bowlers, especially. Either they're going to be taking a quick 1 or 2 wickets,
Yeah.
or they're going to be getting spanked.
Well, just look at Jensen, right? Jensen was picking up wickets, but he was 6 overs, 51 runs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
those figures always amaze me. Like 6
Yeah.
overs, 51 for like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's like what? How?
Because the batsmen are going after them, and they just that you miss, I hit type of thing, right?
Exactly.
So they're bowling into the stumps, and that's exactly what happened. England?
Tonight's game, Australia versus India. Do you think it's going to be a match that's going to set the tone for the World Cup?
It's definitely going to set the tone for India. I think that.
Well, exactly. Yeah, true. Because the World Cup has already started, but it had, like we were talking about earlier, that the stadiums have not been filled to what they're.
Oh yeah, I expect a house full. House full today for sure, 100%. Yeah, it's a big game. It's not, Australia's not playing Netherlands. I mean, India's not playing Netherlands or anything like that. So it's going to be a house full. Mm-hmm. Definitely the first game for India, and I kind of agree with whoever said. I think you brought it up earlier that first game of the World Cup should have been India. Just to kind of set that tone for the audience as well, the viewers, to get that fans packed to the stadium. This is gonna really hopefully kick that off, and we'll get more crowd going. There's some big players playing. I expect Maxwell go off, Kohli obviously. We were kind of discussing off here earlier. Iyer or Ishan Kishan, right? I think Shreyas Iyer is probably going to make that 11, and then he's going to probably make a statement tonight too with these batting tracks. I expect India to bat first and put in another 400 runs. You're still laughing after being out all that money?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was the only 400 game, man. I think
I think you guys are trying to bait me in for another bet.
No, I'm not.
Double or nothing.
No, let's not do that right now. Let me just see.
Yeah, because he wants to collect.
I want to collect first, and then I'll make
rents due.
But who are the players that you think are going to?
For India, I think Ishan Kishan is going to be.
You think Kishan's going to play over Iyer?
No. I think Iyer. I saw like who I think is going to play. I go with who should be playing. I think Iyer is going to be. I think Iyer should be playing because he's in a nick. I mean, Ishan Kishan is no joke either. But I think Shreyas Iyer makes a lot more sense in that puzzle. That Shreyas Iyer is the piece that makes sense. But who are they going to play? I think the big question is going to be on the spinners. Like who is going to be there? Who is going to be playing? Who's going to be playing? Out of the three, because there's Jadeja's going to play for sure, but then there's a question of Kuldeep Yadav and Ravi Ashwin.
I think they'll probably go with Yadav because he's more tested and tried in the recent tournaments. Yeah,
Asia Cup as well. But other than that, it's going to be pretty much the same lineup from that Asia Cup final. Expect the same lineup.
Yeah.
From that Asia Cup final, and with Australia, I'm still a little bit of conspicuous about who their pacers are going to be. Okay, Mitchell Starc and Pat Cummins are there, right? But then Sean Abbott, Josh Hazelwood.
I think they go with Hazelwood just because of natural new ball, and also he gets movement off the seam too, similar to Hassan Ali, right? Not the same bowler, but I'm saying similar.
So Josh Hazelwood is going to open with
Starc,
and then Pat Cummins first change.
Yeah, most likely.
And are they going to bring in another fourth pacer, or do you think they're going to go with a couple more spinners?
I think three. Australia is full of all rounders. They got Stoinis.
Mitchell Marsh
is there. There's so many all rounders. They got so many options. For spinners, you got Zampa, you got Maxwell, you got so many options.
Do you miss Zampa's mullet?
I kind of do.
I do too.
I think it really suited him.
Yeah, I liked him in his mullet.
Yeah. So who are your players to watch for?
These two teams have played each other quite a lot recently.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they have it pretty well mapped out. Who's playing who? India has a really stacked team if you really look at it.
Yeah.
Really stacked team. Like I mean, any one of them could be someone to watch out for on any given day. It's really hard to say who's going to be performing any particular day. But it's definitely a good match. I think it's interesting move by India to give us by us I mean Pakistan the easier matchups leading up to a big matchup. So it's almost like
Is it really easy? Any matchup for
or
Pakistan?
are they showing
Even in Netherlands, 30.
yeah, that could have been a strategic move too, right? Because if you lose to Netherlands and you're really like
confidence
down.
is shot. Yeah.
So no, it's going to be a good game of cricket, I think. Okay, what's your favorite game so far?
So far,
4 matches.
Today's it won me some money.
Well, yeah, that's fair. England,
No.
New Zealand,
Yeah,
England, New
yeah,
Zealand,
yeah,
right? So even though no games have really been close so far, it's been kind of like one-sided,
yes.
one-sided affair so far.
But I think that's going to be more the trend this World Cup.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's going to be one team batting out the other team.
Yeah.
Right. Or just one team bowling out the other team in the case of Bangladesh and Afghanistan. It's going to be a lot of one-sided games. We'll be lucky to get maybe 2 or 3 close games.
Yeah.
Both teams are very equally calibrated, equally equally strong. With the Indian side,
they've got a solid side.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a solid side. They've got home advantage. The game is in Chennai, so it's going to be for sure. It's going to be a great game of cricket all around. They don't need to mess around with their top order too much, or their team in general. I think they have a good idea of who they're going to play.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a good debate for them to have, like, especially if you're India, like who they want to sit out, because everybody's ready to go in and play.
Yeah. It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have. On paper, I think India has a stronger team.
Yeah, I think India are favorites.
India are favorites, right?
Tonight, yeah, I think India. I didn't have Australia in my top 4.
However, Australia wins today. That will be interesting.
That's a huge win for them. If they are able to pull it off,
that's a big win for them.
That's a huge win for them.
It's a big win for them. Yeah, because India is the giant that you got to take down.
Yeah.
Right. Like so yeah. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. For sure.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this game.
Predictions. Who's winning?
India.
Australia. I'll go with Aussies. It's my second favorite team, right?
There's no money on it. You can feel free.
I think India wins.
Yeah, India wins tonight.
It's going to be it's a clash of titans. It's not like David and Goliath. It's a clash of titans.
I have a question for you two. Do you think T20 cricket has improved or actually hurt the ODI cricket?
Well, I would say definitely improved. Definitely.
Not the entertainment part of it. I'm not saying
that is part of the thing, right? I mean, improved in a way that, of course, now because in T20, you have to have heightened batting skills now. Now you have to be a lot more creative with your batting.
You have to be more 360.
More 360.
Yeah.
And that you can bring into 50 overs. Now, the difference between 50 overs and the T20 is that the mental transition from a shorter format to a longer format, right?
Yeah.
20 overs and then 50 overs. But the skill set that you develop in T20, you could not have developed it in 50 overs. With T20 being
it makes you more aggressive in terms of your batting, your style, everything like that.
And bowlers have to be a lot more calculated.
So here's my reason behind the question. So back in the day, or before T20, the middle overs is where a lot of batsmen would build a partnership, build an inning, right? You would do a lot of rotating a strike, and you would get those singles and doubles, and you would really build that middle order, really build that inning until you got to 35 overs, and then you tried to double your runs, right? Or 30 overs and try to double your runs, right? So that was a very normal thing to do, and bowlers really stuck to that line and length, and it was casual, but it was very like basics, right? You stuck to basics. Whereas I think part of the reason why England lost is if you go watch their innings, they did not stop hitting, right? They any new batsman that came in would take 6-7 balls and they're just going baseball all over again, right? Harry Brook hit I forget the bowler's name, was it Satner? I can't remember. Anyways, the ball, or was it Ravindra as well? But he hit the guy for 15 runs, and he still tried to hit a 6 on the last ball, right? That wasn't common a few years ago, right? That you got 15 runs off the over, last ball you're taking a single.
Right? Where that was common? It's basically Pakistan. That was the mentality that they would have. A lot of times you would hear them, you'd be like, "What a senseless shot! Like you had enough runs in the over, and you did not need to do that." They would do it anyways.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right in that sense. But the thing is, there's so many times that they can execute that now they just like want to go for that. Look, the total, these totals that we're looking at now, close to 300. These are all new now. Like it's like 300 is almost like kind of like minimum. Like you have a
300 is the new 250.
New 250.
Yeah.
Back then you had 250. You're like that's a good score on the board. Like we can go out and defend that. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you just saw like incredible performance like when it comes to batting. But yes, it did. Players need to develop that temperament. They're playing a lot more T20 cricket, right? And whether you're playing T20 or you're playing ODI, everybody's talking about strike rate.
Yeah.
Right?
Even on
Players
display.
are under pressure.
Yeah, even on display, they don't have average anymore. They write strike rate.
Strike rate.
Back in the day, it used to be he's averaging 30, he's averaging 50. No, it's this guy has 70 strike rate, this guy has 80 strike rate.
Right. So I mean, I think the players that are going to be successful in ODI cricket are going to be the ones that can recognize the temperament. So there's a theory. I think I was watching the Pavilion, the show, right?
A Sports.
So A Sports. You've got Vakar, Misbah, all of these guys. So they were saying that after losing, Fakhar is damaging to Babar because Babar has to come early and then he doesn't really have any time to. He just thinks he has to go for it now.
Right.
So when at that time there was, the reason for Imam playing the shot that he did, they were saying that he was, because they have kind of like a friendship as well. They played a lot of cricket together. So he was trying to say, okay, like maybe I'll get going from this end, which will give him a chance to get going. So he rushed into, the shot that he did. So it's
against Netherlands.
Against Netherlands, right? Against Netherlands.
So you're saying that it's causing Fakhr's causing the Imam and Babar to play.
But I'm saying is like the strike rate is actively playing on these guys' minds all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Where if you notice, like there's some teams that are coming out of the gate and they're going for it. The reason why I like ODI cricket is because there's 50 overs. So even if you don't have the best start, you can still finish strong. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish it. Right. That's how you got to look at all your actions. Right. How you finish it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what's happening is whether it's the people watching or everything, you have a slow start and they're like, oh my God, what are we doing at watching Test cricket? Like what? Nobody really wants to take that time to build that partnership. It's like, okay, you hold down the fort and then I'm gonna go for it. And that's how you're losing wickets, right? Yeah. If Sri Lanka ended up doing decent after the start that they had, like Mendes was going off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some
of those shots, man, those flicks.
I was loving it. I was like, "Yo, this is sick!" Right? Because I was like, when I look at them, I'm like, "These are my dogs," right? But then I quickly remembered what happened in the Asia Cup final. I was like, "No, these are not my dogs."
You just resumed from Asia Cup. Bring that same.
So, shout out to them to finishing over 300 still, with the situation that was at hand at one point. If they got a little bit of help, they would have been good to go.
Yeah, if they, some of those bowlers held it back.
Yes. So T20, yes, it does. I think T20 has definitely helped cricket overall in general, not just for the players, but for the viewers, for the audience, for the people watching, for the critics, for the fans, and for all these pundits who talk about. But the T20 has definitely, T20 has upped the ante a little bit. Now you have to be a certain type of a batsman, a certain type of a bowler, a certain type of a spinner to take part in international cricket.
Yeah.
Especially in 50 overs. 50 overs is just a longer format, but still cricket. Why do you think scores have gone
up over
have gone up?
Yeah.
Have gradually, and not just in small portions, but come on, at one point it was used to be 280 would be a par score, good enough to defend. 280 would be nice. Now it's like
on these grounds, 320, 350 is where you're at.
Well, first of all,
right? And that's because the players have developed shots. And now they're bringing that, and they're not just the top order, even middle order tries to play shots.
You have to keep in mind though, right? Like cricket it originates from Test cricket. That's the real cricket, even to this day, right? So the players, like, either you're gonna have to have a few things, right? Like T20 ODI, you can go back and forth, right? You're gonna have to get these batsmen to be able to play all sorts of formats, right? All across.
Well, there is specialists now.
Match format should be just eradicate them, please.
No, man. I love watching test matches.
I don't think. I think that's.
I love watching test matches.
I mean, that's.
How about this for a prediction? It's inevitable that test format is going to be out of stock in a few years, man.
I don't.
I don't think so.
No, if it was gonna be, it would have already. That's cricket, bro. That's the gentlemanly cricket sport, right? Like
nobody's a gentleman anymore. They bash, they smash.
No, but the thing is,
we're the gentle in the 464.
No, but they also
no
England's changing that too, right? The way they were batting, in the test matches against Australia, they're changing that too. It's no longer a boring test match.
Yeah,
they're coming out, they're thrashing, they're going after the ball.
I mean, right? you can say that, but there's also been an increase in the test cricket matches where they don't even last 3 days.
Well, that's just a wicket too, right? That's
the score you're talking about. Massive score.
It's so exciting because the pitch on day one is completely different from the pitch you get on day 5.
Exactly, it's right? It's a different test of your skills.
You've got and to me, if you're a classy player, like, there's no better opportunity to display those skills.
Yeah,
because to really have that time to come in and settle. To look at endurance of the bowlers, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Going. You're bowling these long spells, so it's testing you out as a player, and I do like that.
Is there money in test cricket?
Yes. The thing is, if you watch test matches in the South Asian countries, you won't see a lot of audience. But I love watching test matches in Australia, England. You see a stadium full. You see people appreciating.
That's 2 countries.
No. But that's two major countries. It's major countries, right? No, but even this World Cup, if you look at it, this is a World Cup. I haven't seen the stadium full once.
Yeah, that's because, first of all,
massive stadiums.
No, that's
not, bro. Massive stadium. It's a massive country. They got 1.2 billion people.
Yeah, but
you can't get 100,000 people.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like, there's,
first of all, when the tournaments start, when the large scale, it's not just this World Cup. Every World Cup, when the tournaments start, they're usually lacking a little bit of audience.
That's not necessarily true. There's like a comparison.
No, on day one,
of previous World Cups.
There's a lot of talk of the day one. It should have been like India playing, so you see like a full out. Did they even do like a World Cup opening ceremony type thing?
I'm not sure. I didn't.
They did. One thing I've noticed, India is trying to do is very good. It's like FIFA where they're bringing out the big flags, the huge flags of the countries, right? Before the start of the game, and then
I think that's been happening.
That's been happening for a while.
And plus
for the anthems and stuff.
For the anthems, no, it's just that they try to make it look more FIFA-like. It's huge
with the kids and all.
Flags with kids walking out.
That's been regular now. That's been going on for like 6-7 years now.
6-7 years with the kids.
Yeah.
These big tournaments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's been going on for a while. Even T20 tournaments are doing that.
Yeah. So look, I agree that there could have been more crowd.
Yeah.
Right. But that crowd thing is going back to what you're saying. So like these guys are not they're not actual cricketing fans there, right? They only care about the home team. That is it, and that's why a lot of people were talking about where's the fans, right? But now,
guys, you guys are just being impatient. Trust me, the tournaments start like that. You gotta go
back. It's been four games.
Here's the thing.
Games are usually like
no, but you yourself are saying like cricket is that next sport, right? If
cricket, what do you mean cricket is the next?
In terms of that's the biggest sport that's going to take over the world
after
absolutely
football, yes.
Okay, would you see a single? You know what Qatar is? Middle East, right? All these people have never been to Middle East. Did you see the turnout at the World Cup? Was there any matches?
Bro, I can show you pictures from previous World Cups. It's never like this. It's never been like this.
So you're saying people are starting to lose interest in cricket overall?
No. It's
starting to lose interest in ODI cricket overall.
Okay, so you're saying that people are losing interest in ODI cricket, but they still have interest for Test cricket?
Not in South Asian countries. That's what I'm trying to get at. The South Asian countries, like he said, it's a lot of times it's a home bias. Like if you watch games in Pakistan, right? A lot of times the crowd will not be there, right? Unless your home teams. Like the reason why Afghanistan and Bangladesh games or Afghanistan Sri Lanka game, the crowd was there because there's a lot of Afghanis there, right? They're coming out to watch, and they show you that side of the stadium where it's packed, right? But I mean, the weather might have something to do with it. It is really hot there, right? People are only in the shade, right? They're not in the everywhere. Exactly. The weather might have some, but a lot of these stadiums should be packed, considering the population and the love of the game.
As the tournament progresses,
they will be.
They will be.
They will be. Like I don't think you'll find a single seat that's empty in the India versus Pakistan match.
Of course, that's one game.
But India's playing
Australia tonight. Yeah,
tonight. Yeah, tonight.
So tonight is the game.
So you'll see. So we'll get a good idea of it. But what I am saying is, look, you built these massive stadiums, right? And you only sold, 25,000 tickets. At that point, even if you have to give away free tickets, bring in the schools, give schools, workplaces or whatever.
Yeah.
Fill up these stadiums because it's just a better look for the game in general. All I'm saying is, look, you don't have India is what, the second most populous country or the third? First now? First. Okay, so first most populous country, and we're only for a major World Cup, 10 nations are playing, and we're only filling up 25,000. What they're saying is not necessarily that there's not interest for cricket. There's not interest to go watch these regular teams like that are not the home teams, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been okay. Look, Pakistan, Netherlands, and then
the first game
was a rematch of the final.
The very first game.
If that wasn't
the very first,
bro, if that was in Canada,
okay.
I would have gone.
Do you remember?
No, you. Right. I get it. You're
you remember the T20 World Cup that happened in West Indies?
Yeah.
Fire opening ceremony. Like where was the Bollywood? There was no Bollywood on game one. Where's Bollywood? Like why didn't they have like these bro? How do you bring people in and letting them know you started something? You have this giant opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Have all the teams, everything like that.
India did not have like an opening ceremony.
Yeah,
they just had like that first game, and then it just,
which is a huge miss. Like because on that one you had like in West Indies you had like Sean Paul. I think Rihanna was in the crowd. Like there was a lot of shit. You are in like the biggest entertainment industry of the world.
Yeah.
Right. So where's the antics?
Yeah.
There could have been some antics, and if people didn't want to watch New Zealand and England.
Yeah.
They would have went there to watch Shah Rukh Khan perform live on stage. I mean, the guy likes cricket.
Yeah.
Or what some of these actresses that.
So you guys are saying India lacked the advertisement part.
I think
promotion.
It's too early, and it's gonna sound like I'm hating, but I'm really not.
Exactly, it's way too early.
It's too early
regarding the stadiums getting packed.
I'm saying is if you guys really put the cricket to be on the pedestal, like the way, or pick like neutral place. Where you have different, like if this couple's in UK, you have enough people from everywhere to come and go there, right?
That's probably another factor that UK does have people from all around the world, so you do get no matter who's playing the home, you kind of feel like your team is playing, right?
But then they only have smaller seating capacity as well. They only have but the thing is, I would rather take a 25,000 person seating capacity that's fully
where it looks full,
than because as a player it's more exciting.
Yeah.
Than to play in the heat and doing all the shit.
Exactly. The weather is not permissible in India too. It's pretty hot. But I guess when there's more meaningful matches, like when there's more.
I mean, tonight's game should be sold out, right? That game should be sold out.
A lot more packed than what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
But I still believe as the tournament goes on, there will be people. There will be an influx. Trust me. Especially and when it gets to the really really there's 45 matches. We've only played 4.
Every match counts.
You want to know an indicator?
You only played that team one time.
Yeah, true. But still,
that's true.
But still, it usually takes a little bit of time for a tournament to catch a little bit of drift.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping.
At one point last night, during the Afghanistan.
What happened? What happened with them? Like what was up with that?
Bro, they were doing so. Gurbaz was doing so well. I don't know what happened.
They have no.
They just They really kind of lost the plot. They used up too many overs to get to the 100. I think they were like 125 overs. Is it
Afghanistan's first 50-over World Cup?
No.
Or is it their second?
Second, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the second. Second. But at one point, they started showing the kids' game that was happening on a mountaintop on the side because there was no like crowd reactions to go off of.
Yeah.
So they were just over there showing those games as the game's progressing.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, you want those, like, the signs around the stadium to
Yeah.
display that, hey, we're here
And
for
did
this
you
game.
notice these are like smaller grounds? Like there was not.
That was a beautiful ground.
That was a beautiful ground.
Dharamshala, bro.
Like the background was just amazing.
It was amazing.
But I think it was a smaller ground where there's not much capacity for people to sit.
It still wasn't packed.
Still wasn't packed, but it's Afghanistan, Bangladesh.
There's a lot of Afghanis in India.
I get it.
Here's the thing. A lot of people, especially a lot like because of the politics and everything, a lot of Pakistanis did not get the visa. This is a neighboring country. If they were made accessible, a lot of them would go to watch at least their own team.
Bengalis are allowed, right? Afghanis are there. There's a lot of Afghani refugees in India, right?
Yeah.
So why aren't they going?
Yeah, and that's the bigger question is the interest tapering off in terms of, look, I do understand that too, unless you there's couple factors, right? Either you can't afford it, right? Because like I can't take a day. It's not just about buying the ticket. I got to take a day off work.
Right.
Number one. Number two is I got to buy the ticket. Then if you're going to be there for 8 hours, you're going to spend money at the stadium. And most of the time, food and everything is like stadium prices. You can't, unless you got a girl that stuffs it in her purse and brings it in, but checkings usually catch that these days, right? So, that's a thing. Going back to what we were saying about Test cricket earlier, right? They don't just go to it. They know it's a 5-day game. But when they go to it, it's an actual outing to enjoy the game of cricket.
Yeah.
They're not just gonna cheer for the home team. They're gonna cheer for anybody that's doing
any good cricket.
Good cricket. Yeah. Good shot, you get a cheer.
Yeah.
They're sitting there, they're drinking. That's why they have like those areas where they don't have any seats. Because you just got the grass, you put your little picnic thing down, you sit there.
You enjoy it.
Yeah.
You're and even with those test matches, you would probably notice that those test matches, they don't get filled up right away. It takes a couple of days or a third day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But look, your girl wants you to take her on a picnic. You're like, oh my god, I don't want to go to a picnic.
Why would I go to a test match with my girl, man?
Why would I?
Now she gets.
What if she loves cricket too?
To watch the game of cricket, it's a win-win.
I was just asking my wife. I was like, you want to go to the T20 World Cup next year? Oh, with wife
is different. I guess you guys are.
I'm going to T20 World Cup next year. USA.
T20, yeah, still. I would, but test match.
I mean, if the 50 over was here, I would go if the 50 over was here.
Yeah, but on a test match on a date, no, man. I think that's the. I think that's your unless it's your.
Have you ever been on a picnic date?
Yes.
You've been on a picnic?
Yeah.
You went put the little sheet down, like
a little cheesy for me, yes, but yeah.
You had the little thing. Imagine. So it was a little cheesy for you, right? Yeah. But your girl probably was like, she went and talked about it in the office for 5 days. Mm-hmm. Me and my mans went on a picnic. Mm-hmm. Like, it was great. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, take it around. It's not going to be so cheesy, right? She still brings her little basket. You still go do the picnic, but you're like, I was at the game, and my girl just happened to be there. Yeah. But you enjoyed sandwiches. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to be.
I think you changed his mind.
And yes,
I saw him.
We're gonna bring him back to.
I saw him picturing it. He was, as he was saying, he was picturing it.
In my He's like, who's playing? Like, do I really want to be there?
Do I really? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's like his luck. He goes there.
That I think interest in Test cricket is at an all-time low because of the evolution. Such an interesting evolution of T20 cricket that spills into 50 overs because the similar types of skills are required from that format. When it comes to the test, it's a completely different, it's a completely different planet than T20 and 50 overs.
I think true fans of cricket will still watch test.
I mean, yes, that's what I'm saying. The true fans of cricket are disappearing in a sense that it's more commercialized with T20 and then 50 overs.
Of course, but like that's going to happen. I don't think it will completely disappear. I think it will still happen for a while.
Okay, especially, tell me this: is it not declining? Is the test match anticipated cricket in the world?
I feel like ODI is declining more than Test cricket.
Yeah,
ODI is declining
more than Test cricket.
I think Test is declining. Okay, well look.
I think baseball is gonna revolutionize the cricket itself. Cricket itself, the like think about Stuart Broad, the way he went out, right? The last Test match, he's retiring, and he picks up those wickets to tie the series. Like that's a fairy tale ending. Like as a cricket fan, you appreciate that. That one in ODI crickets, you don't get that as much. The close game, the last game. Okay, one team's trying to survive, the other team's trying to take the wicket. That clash does not happen in ODI as much. They're very one-sided games.
Cousin said the other day, I've ordered wings. I don't have time, for another day. You know what I mean? That's for 50 overs, match reserves.
I have time for all 5 days.
For 5 days, man, I could never
I mean, you don't have to watch all 8 9 hours.
I mean, like what I'm saying is like, realistically, am I gonna go watch the match all 5 days? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably, like, let's say I'm in Australia or England and the Ashes is going on. Probably gonna go on the last day.
Yeah.
Right, depending on the
last
match
2 days.
Last 2 days. That'll be good. But
you do still watch bits and pieces throughout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You know what I mean?
You keep up with it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. It's one of those things where it's just like, it's happening. Nobody's really watching. It's going to be slow cricket, but then you wake up and some amazing things have happened sometimes. You think they have no chance, and then there's chances, so I think I would agree with you. I think ODI cricket is going to get phased out more before Test cricket does, because they're always going to keep the original format of cricket.
There's a true fan base that has that for Test.
Yeah.
ODI, because it's the same day, it's 8 hours, and the T20 is there to kind of replace it. Like you said, they're similar, right? ODI and T20.
But I still enjoy T. I enjoy all formats.
I enjoy all formats too, but I'm just saying for that.
Yeah, I was talking more of not as a fan of cricket as a sport, but I'm as a more on probable basis, basis of probability on which format has.
I think ODI is more likely because it's completely Test is a completely different format, right?
Test is a completely different physical.
It's almost
stress.
like a different sport. It's almost like a different.
Wants that stress on players. Do not want that stress on your body because they want to maintain that.
That's not necessarily true.
Because they want to maintain that physical fitness, that physical the elongation of their physical endurance to play formats like T20 and 50, because there's a lot more. It's a lot more commercial than playing a Test match.
Is there more money in T20? Yes. Is there? But the thing is, there's specialized batsmen and players that just play Test.
Yeah, they're not going to play T20.
That's fine. The thing is that the players, like, let's say
nobody's going to watch them.
For example, let's take Saud Shakil. Okay, let's take Saud Shakil. He came to the ODI side because of Test matches, right? He showcased his skills. He did well in Test matches, and they said, "Hey, you have great technique." And the thing is, T20 and these things, they won't create that basic technique that you require to get to that level, right? So they said, "Hey, you have basic technique. Let's get you to the ODI game, right? Let's test you out." He's like, how often do you see a guy who's played 5 ODIs in a World Cup squad? This guy played 5 ODIs before this game that he played, right? So how often do you see that you've made the World Cup? The reason he made it is because he performed in the Test matches, because he showcased his technique.
No problem with that. Anyone can showcase whatever in the Test match, but I'm talking about the possibility of which format's going to die first is the Test match, because nobody really cares. Yeah, he that was his stepping stone, but that's not his last stone where he's going to be at.
I think he'll still play that until he retires.
Of course he's going to play. You're not getting the point. I'm saying he used that platform as a basis to showcase his abilities to play, and now he's off into the ODI squad, right? But the players, I'm talking about the players. No, players rather play the T20 and 50 overs format, because it's, first of all, it's less stress on the body and more money in the pocket, is what I'm saying. And Test match cannot give you that. Test match is completely opposite of that, which which is why not just players, but as a cricket fan, you're starting to lose interest in Test match, because you rather see something really, in today's day and age, something that's really quick and something that's more entertaining. It's like dopamine, right? You need more dopamine.
I get
Test
that.
match is more like melatonin, where it puts you to sleep.
I get that. We're moving towards that fast-paced world that you want a quick 3-hour entertainment and then you move on, right? I agree with you, but at the same time, with the comment of athletes preserving their body and wanting to play more tournaments, more cricket, and they're shifting towards T20. Yes, but at the same time, that is still more physical too, right? T20 is an ongoing, high paced environment, right? Whereas
for 20 overs.
Right, doesn't matter. The thing is, a test match, right? It's very laid back, right? A bowler is not bowling 20 overs straight. You're bowling 3 to 5 over spells, right? It does take a toll on your body, but it's T20 also does as well at a different level, right? It's still taking a toll on your body.
You think kids growing up are going to watch test match or T20?
I think it just depends where you grow up.
It really depends.
It depends where you grow up, yeah.
Sure. I would still think that the kids that are coming up are only interested in T20. Nobody wants to know about
Look,
it.
I mean, look, it's all about like why you're playing the game of cricket. If you learn it and yeah, you're going for that, the entertainment factor and everything like that. Yes, you do that, but I think majority of the people, like if on a professional level, the reason why you don't play a lot of test cricket here is because you don't have the setup. You cannot.
You don't have the resources.
You don't have the resources to go for it. So it's almost, you have to look at it from this point of view, right? There were some sports that were just, even to this day, they're actually considered posh sports, right? So for example, your tennis, right? Just recently there was controversy because I don't know if it was like I don't know who it was, but what's like
Novak Djokovic.
He wore a hat. I think I'm not, if I'm not mistaken. Instead of being in the proper tennis attire, he was wearing like a Nike hat or something like that, and they were making it a thing. So he was trying to break out of it. Like, why does tennis have to be like this? Like, why do we have to be clean cut and be like this? Like golf, right? Similarly, cricket was also established as a game that is, it's called a posh sport for a reason, right? So it's for like your elites. It's like that classy thing that they do. It's not necessarily that for the younger audience and the people that want to watch the game of cricket. It's not going to be a thing. It's a selective thing. You know, you take your client to go watch the test match. You sit there. You set up a deal or something, and you get to talk to these people. That's really what this is like about. Like that's what they're there to watch. They're not. So it has a specific audience.
Yeah.
In order for you to grow cricket, are they going to try to emphasize on test cricket? Absolutely not.
No.
No.
But at the same time, to grow the player skill level in majority countries, I'm not talking countries like Canada or US and these countries. I'm talking like places like India, England. All these, they all prefer the longer formats at a younger age, where they're playing the 2-day games, they're playing the 4-day games to develop them, right, and to grow them. And eventually, like as a cricketer, when I was growing up and playing cricket myself, I wanted to play the longer formats. It's just I didn't have the resources available, right? If you grab a kid from Pakistan or India and hey, like we're gonna play you a 4-day game, do you think he's gonna say no, I'm only here for T20? He's not gonna say that. He's gonna like cricket for 4 days. Yes, I want to play cricket for 4 days. It just depends where you grow up, right? As a kid growing up in those cricket majority nations, you want to play as much cricket as possible. So I don't think it's a
they already play every day, like whether it's skate ball, tennis ball, whatever. They already playing every day. So if you and that was another conversation going on yesterday, and they were basically saying like the reason why Pakistan system is so broken because you just have these kids that are very talented in like tape ball or something, just one day naturally show up. And they're like, oh, this person's really talented. And then they give them that. They might have pace, but they don't have control because they're used to that environment. So, they're saying dialing it back if you start going, as a proper thing, start putting these guys into that. And that would be great to build endurance to bring you to international level, right? Like, yeah, once you've got it all, yeah, then you probably don't want to play. And you will see different teams.
So your muscles in your body, it needs to develop to a point where you are able to handle that constant pressure, the constant T20 games every day, every other day, right? In order for you to do that, you have to, as a kid, play those formats and to develop that. If you constantly only play T20, that's why so many players get injured so often. It's because they're not putting themselves through that gym, through that routine on a daily basis, where they're bowling those long spells,
totally agree
right?
Definitely, that's the technical aspect. I'm not questioning at all with the test match. I'm talking about the popularity and the
what the people want.
What people want.
Of course, you're not gonna have if you
match is not gonna be around.
It's gonna be skewed if you look at T20 viewership versus Test. Of course, it's gonna be like way off, right?
That's exactly.
But absolutely, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that Test cricket will still be around for a while because there's that base audience, right? Let's say if 100 million people are watching T20 cricket, that 20 million or 10 million are still gonna focus on that Test, and they're always gonna do that, and that's not gonna go away. That big number might fluctuate up and down as to what tournament and what's going on, but that base will still watch that. So that's still going to be around. ODI cricket, on the other hand, because it's so similar to T20, I don't know if that's going to be around for a very long time.
That's why they have that's why you can't do like a like the World Cup of Test cricket. That's why they have the format
The
that they have now.
championship, yeah.
Test championship, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you go, you get the points and the players and stuff. So I think ICC has a plan. Obviously, in their plan, money decides what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Do we want to watch more T20? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because the game is done a lot sooner. Even these ODI World Cups, like especially with the timings and everything, if the game is not entertaining, you're dozing off.
Yeah.
You come back out of it. At least I do. We got playing, doze off, come back out of it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. So we don't even have the attention span for like 20 seconds. Like you're on TikTok and you take like 3 or 4 seconds to decide if you're going to continue watching it or not, right? And then you skip it. So how are you going to watch a game that's 8 hours long?
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah, but okay.